This one moves through a few things we've been working on. Time outside, some winter fixes, and a bit of work in the workshop.
It's been windy for almost 2 days, and then at midnight last night, as we were trying to go to bed, we lost power. And then it wasn't until almost 9 o'clock this morning that it came back on. Luckily, no big trees have fallen down around where we live. I saw one on the side of the driveway fall down, but luckily it stayed off the road. However, some of our siding decided to rip off of the house. I'm not surprised. Lots of the screws, you can tell, have stripped out of the metal. Kind of been ripped out from all the previous windstorms, so I guess I'm gonna fix that so it's rattling around. It's also right on top of another ice rink here, so that's always fun. But put the piece of scaffolding next to it so at least it doesn't get completely ripped off. I'm gonna try to straighten it out and put some new screws in it. Let's go see the little tree that fell down. Whoa, that is sheer ice. Man, oh, I didn't think it was this slippery over here too. That's just a little baby, but luckily it fell right next to it. I do need some firewood, so I gotta start processing some of that. We destroyed the firewood shed that was here on the property when we got it. We had to redo the septic, and it's a plan to build a new shed because we have trees everywhere here. And then also from plowing, clearing out through here, got a little brush pile there, along with one over here. One of the trees I took down, I never got around to processing some more of that. Like I said, we got all this almost 3 feet of snow in a very short amount of time. And that's the big pile. I gotta get in here and get some of that wood and start burning it. So I don't think I want to go across that ice rink. The OSB I need for the flooring real soon. I did shovel away there, but all the snow melted away from it, so that should make it a bit easier to get to. So there's some positives to this warm weather. It was also like sun tanning weather. You can see the sun's pretty bright on us now, but we hit like daytime highs of 10 degrees. That's unusual for here in that time of year. We'll take it. It's a break from the minus 30s, I guess. Whoa, man, that's another one. It's better now that we put gravel in a lot of places, but man, when we first came here in the spring last year, it was just a mud pit everywhere, and the goal every year is to add more gravel where we use and walk so it's not muddy everywhere. Bought this beautiful chunk of land as is where is, so we knew it was gonna have a bunch of interesting things for us to find and come across, but overall it's been good. Obviously there's a lot of work getting things cleaned up of older couple that lived here before, but here we are. It's ours now. Got lots of big plans and projects. Obviously it's nice to spend some time here and see how things work, and then also go through a season, snow plowing now. Kind of you can wrap your mind around how am I going to do that next year? If I change this, how's that going to affect it? So it's nice to spend some time here and figure out how you want to develop the land first and then get after it. We have our hands full of work, but that's why we came out here and that's what we signed up for. So thanks for joining along and watching this. It's good to document it for your own self as well, so you can look back on it, show your kids, your grandkids. Who knows, will YouTube be a thing then? I'm sure it will. Since we're kind of doing a bit of an intro story, well, I better show you. This is Big Bertha on the property. I don't know, she's almost 30 inches in diameter. We think she's pretty old. It's Big Bertha. Yeah, this is the lovely ice rink out here. You can see it glistening.
Daddy. Hi.
let's get to work fixing this before it rattles around even more. All right, well, I got that panel back in place as best it can be. Yeah, it's done. You got all these old sheds when we moved in here with it, you know, buildings valued at $0. We've utilized them and hope to reuse them in different ways. I know, I was just thinking to myself, that could be a very nice firewood storage. Just take the walls off, side walls, open it up front. You can stack wood real tall. We got quite a bit of space to explore here. So that comes with a lot of cleaning of the forest. Really need to get a mulcher so we can just bring that along and mulch stuff as we go instead of trying to haul it out. Especially the further you get back, the harder it is to clean up and everything, because there's no opening. It's just dense forest. There's one partial opening and the rest would just be natural stuff, but it's all pretty dense here. It's a windy day as well, so what I was saying is hopefully in the summertime we can get a little bit more time to clean some of that forest. Obviously when we first moved here, just getting settled and then cleaning up all the previous stuff that was here takes a lot of time. We did get that accomplished, started new things, which is great. We're gonna finish those this year and just continue where we left off, and we know this isn't an overnight project. We signed up for life on this one. Oh yeah, while I was fixing that panel on the building, these couple branches came down as well, so I will move those out of the driveway and add them to the wood burning pile that will hopefully get started soon.
Mini sushi rules. So you get some seaweed sheet. One seaweed sheet. Get some rice. Try and get it. Okay, you need some more if that happens.
You can just put it down over there.
And then you get some of this. What's this called again? Tuna. Right there. Because this step you need to get a carrot, chop it like that. Try to get very dirty, you don't want to get my legs, so just use your hands and chop it. Then you get some cucumber. This one's also rough. I usually cut it, but it's perfect size. And then we get some sweet sauce. Pink spot. Then we boil it. And then we eat it. Rainbow on my food. Richard, there's some rice on my food.
We're coming in, Ted. Welcome back to another beautiful day. It's a little windy today. The temperatures are dropping. Soon it's gonna be back in the minus 30s and some snow might be coming back. It's been like a 3-week hiatus almost since we had snow, 2 weeks at least. But the winch, the synthetic winch rope we installed a couple weeks ago is already showing some signs of wear. And I was doing some research and I found that they actually make these things called a plow strap. So now these plow straps are like inch and a quarter wide strap as compared to a 1/4 inch wide rope. So just right on that one point where it wears the most, just that little bit of up and down, this is probably gonna last way longer. And I guess intended for people with plows because it changes the angle of the winch. You're not just pulling from a tree 50 feet away and trying to pull yourself closer and the rope just comes in. It's really digging down. Another tree falling over from the wind. I can show again there when I take the old one off. Since your winch rope is going down and attaching to the plow and pulling up, it really wears on the bottom there. So I just never knew they made these before. So they're not super expensive, about the same price as a rope, but they're just a lot shorter, only like 64 inches it says here as compared to 50 feet. So it's like 5 feet long and it's all you really need. If you had to do a recovery in the middle of winter, that's gonna suck because you'll just have this short little rope on as compared to your long one. But our main purpose in the wintertime here is plowing the driveway and the parking area, so we shouldn't really be getting stuck anywhere. Although I almost did get stuck early in the season when you're trying to push the snow further down into the bank and going down or not going straight into soft snow. But we're gonna install this today before we get back to working on the workshop. Simple little things in life can be immensely fun. On a nice little sheet of ice with not too much ice around it and prop the plywood up there, shooting some pucks at it. At first I was gonna use a scaffolding, but I don't know, just went this way for now. So we gotta shoot some pucks to warm up before we do any more work. Right? Oh yeah. Right back to you, mate. Okay, I'm warmed up. That was awesome. It's been 20 years since I've really shot some pucks, so it's good to be back. Gonna be doing a lot more of that. It's a good workout as well. So back to the real business. Let's get this bad boy uncovered and see what we're doing. So I've had a trickle charger on this thing for the past while and now it's finally warm and it fires up first go, which is awesome, but I know that's going to change when it's minus 30. I do have a new tool in the tool bag to help me on those cold starts, so excited to see how that works in about another week here when it gets cold. I'm going to try firing this bad boy up and yeah, I guess we can see down here. I should just lift it up, but you can see some of that wear, the metal coming up on the blade, but it's to be expected. It's probably, most of that was before we had a snow base at all when you're hitting the rocks, so now that it's ice sheet, it really shouldn't be taking damage. But anyways, this is back on the rope here, and you can see showing some damage. At some point here, pretty much where this is, they braid the one strand, like 2 pieces into one to end it. It gets braided back in there, so I'm not surprised. It's probably a bit of the excess kind of being squished out. But you can see here, can't remember exactly what this part's called, the guide going into it. All the tension is here, coming straight down and then pulling this plow blade up. So that's what screws up the rope, is all the friction on here. And then also, like, you have so much rope in there, it kind of gets overlapped a bit. It's good it's warm now because it froze over and it was a big ice chunk and I really just had a little bit of play in here, especially when it was minus 30. So let's get this plow strap on here and see how that looks. Once you're at the end of the rope, you come over here to the side where you see your lovely worn winch and you gotta twist it essentially disengages it, it's in neutral. Now I can spin it by hand. That's all the extra rope we have there. Get this knot undone now, which looks a little nasty. Fun. I'm gonna get this knot out. Maybe I did bring some tools. Pliers and a screwdriver. I don't want to damage anything, but I just kind of put the screwdriver in and loosen it. I've got a pretty small flathead. Always need more. Luckily it's warm out. It's like 5 degrees right now. Night times are minus 10s. But this was pretty much the last warm day in the positive, so I figured it was time. Oh yeah, we got the knot. There we go. Get this out the same way. I'm gonna put it back in. Okay. I guess I gotta take this cotter pin and everything out again too. I have my new ones from last time, so I'm gonna try that, but I'm probably gonna struggle with this for a minute or 3. Yahoo! We got it. The hook is free. Probably try reusing that cotter pin. Okay, so this is the strap I have now. As you can see here, just how 1.25 inches wide versus 1/4 inch. It's not super thick per se, but super wide to distribute that point load as it rounds over. So there's no room for a stopper on this, so we'll see how it looks once it's installed, but it's got the same end on it. Push that up through there. Fingers in. Nice little knot right at the end. I can pull that back around, and that's locked in there. Sweet. Just wheel that back over by hand. You should be able to see that knot right in there. Not go anywhere. So sweet. Re-engage the clutch. Fire up the machine and pull it in. There's really not much rope on this. It's just that 1.5 feet, so I don't think you're really going to stretch it. Okay, well I didn't necessarily do that wrong, but when it got to the end, it was like this, which has this extra bump on it, instead of this way, which has the label. So this side would be smooth going up against there. So it just, I guess after I put the knot in, this got twisted. So I just need to reposition how the knot is in there, twist it around so it can be straight. Yeah, that seems better. Alright, there we got it. Now it'll be the smooth side rubbing up against here. So I'll get the hook hooked up and we'll see how it lifts. We got our hook on with our cotter pin there. And that's how the strap looks in there. Pretty nice. Let's lift her up. I think it even goes higher now. You can see that cable in there. Definitely gets tight. It's gonna twist a little bit, but looking good. Sweet, I'm happy with that. Let's see how that turns out and how long that lasts. See how many more plows we get this season too. We just got crusted over ice everywhere now. It's kind of nasty. It is good for playing hockey though. Almost need your ice skates or spikes on your shoes. Maybe that's what we need. We can play a little floor hockey out here. All right, let's get back in the workshop. So let's go see what we're working on today. As you may remember, on the last episode we finished up the insulation of the flooring, and so now it's tackling the vapor barrier and subfloor kind of at the same time. I'm gonna bag up all this old insulation, might move a few tools out of here that I don't need, and then I'm gonna be trying to clear everything over to this side. Alright, we got everything tucked away back in that corner. Got my OSB leaned up over there, and now I got a clean slate to get this first layer of vapor barrier down. Got the laser level and the vapor barrier, and do a few last minute cleanup things, and then get ready for the vapor barrier. Thought it was good. I guess it wasn't. Okay, so I just made a line in the middle of the joist that I can follow. Now I just need to put my straight edge, mark that line. When I do the cut, just make sure I remove the whole line, and then my next piece will fit up right against it. Okay, so I just wanted to add a second piece there, just so I can also check going from that corner over that corner, that just with the second piece kind of helps to make sure you're going straight and square to everything else. So I'm gonna set the laser level up over against that wall and also against that wall to check both sides. Just make sure we're getting our first piece in square before I mark any lines to cut. I think we're there. Everywhere is icy. I got two other clamps, so I'm just gonna clamp this board down to these stands as well. And then at least we know stuff shouldn't go flying around on us. All right, we're clamped up. Come around to the other side of the table and finish this off now. Whew. That is definitely the easiest I've ever cut a big sheet of 3/4 inch plywood. I had to bust out the old leaf blower just to get it all clean before I bring it back into the workshop again. So. This is one of those full pieces that I'm just cutting the 5.5 inches off. And it is slippery everywhere. So now I just got to cut both those in the back corner, and then I'll be able to fit my full sheet in between here. Just offsetting the seams, that's why this is a half sheet to begin, and I'll get 2 fulls and then a partial at the end as well. So that's the plan at least. Seems like it's going to work. I'm going to finish that corner at least, and then I'll probably be packing it up for the night and finishing the rest tomorrow. But yeah, it's the first pieces that always take the longest, making sure everything's set, lined up. And then after that, it should flow a lot better for the last half of it. Especially once you got your system in place. The straight cuts, that is the most important thing. So give you another update when we're further along. Okay, so a bit of a progress update. We have just over half of it finished because I'm gonna have 4.5 rows to get this all done. So yeah, I got the first two. I do have these next two pieces in place, marked out, so I just have to go cut those so I can fit a full piece in the middle. So that should go relatively quickly. Once this is all done, we're gonna mark these in order so I know where they go once we're finishing up the floor. Yeah, can I get these last few sheets all done up and show you how it looks once it's all done. Well, there we have it. We got our 4 full rows across there, but I got it laid out, plan on what I'm gonna do for last pieces. Yeah, we'll get at it in the morning. I need to get one more piece of plywood out of there to do my last cut, and so let's get it out. And then after that, we're left with a much nicer edge there. Now that's pretty awesome. There's no clamps on this table because I kind of wanted the supports under the middle of each half as best I could, so my little clamps can't reach under there. So the only thing holding this from completely falling down is that blocking back there. This piece right here, holding the two together that I showed you earlier, that's all that's holding them up. So pretty awesome little jig to have on hand. Fantastic! We now just have one last piece of the puzzle.
Dogs are here.
That was the last piece for the first layer of subfloor. If that's not exciting, then I don't know what is. That's the type of adult excitement we get these days. Well, this is an exciting sight to see. We have our first layer dry fit OSB subfloor. Like I said, I do have to peel all of this up and start the vapor barrier from that end over. The nice thing now is I can just peel up the first 2 layers and still have all the floor here to walk on, and I can get my first row of vapor barrier down in there. And then yeah, to start that process, put it back down. I am gonna mark out, a few locations just where the pieces end on the wall and stuff as much as possible, just to make sure I'm maintaining the same alignment as if. And once you start screwing them down there, there's no going back to fix it if you are out once you're up here. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. Another step closer to finishing this. That's gonna be it for this video. We'll see you guys in the next one.